Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aloha Press Show. My name is JC out here in Atlanta, Georgia. Joined today with my co-host Jeff. What's going on, buddy?
Can you see that? Can you see that steam coming out of my mouth? I feel like I'm fucking at Lambeau Field right now. Fucking cold in this garage, baby.
The Aloha Press Studio in good old Amateur City is a little chillier out there in the garage, huh?
God damn. Hey, 2021's bringing bigger and better things to this podcast and this YouTube show.
It's dude, I'm so excited about 2021. If there was any year I was excited about, like there's a lot of milestones in life, that you go through, and when you turn about 26, like the soonest one is just you realizing that you get older every year. But I realized that if you make it through 2020, you're gonna have like an incredible story when it's said and done.
Well, hey, here's the thing. 2020 sucked for a lot of people. It's shitty, but in the end, it's December. Can you find something positive? Can you grow on it? Can you move into 2021 and do better? Absolutely. Fucking A.
I think there's only like room to grow. I mean, fuck, it's an incredible venture when you start a business and realize that like, hey, we're gonna do it during the middle of a pandemic, and we're not gonna know when the pandemic is gonna end. What the fuck? Right? But dude, I'm pumped about it. It's something that I'm looking at a calendar, hopefully mixing it up with some other brands, seeing if maybe some trips, something in the future that we can maybe give away. I don't want to tease too many things and give out all the secrets, but I'm excited about it, dude. And it starts this weekend. I mean, what else? What better way to celebrate, a couple weeks before Christmas than the PNC Championship? If there was a championship that no one cared about, it might be this one. If Tiger Woods and Charlie Woods was not playing in it, do you think anyone would be paying attention?
I don't think anybody would tune in if Tiger and Charlie weren't playing it. I mean, you bring in a 10 and 11-year-old kid who's already talking shit to Justin Thomas and these other guys. I love it. I really do. It's a joke of a tournament. It's a scramble. It's a Sunday scramble. That's what it is. But I'm going to watch it. I'm going to tune in for the pure reason that I want to watch this kid that could probably beat both of us right now hit some golf shots and hopefully talk some shit on camera, right? And hopefully his dad eggs him on a little bit. His dad's the greatest golfer in the fucking world.
And that's what's going to be so unique about it. I mean, you got Charlie Woods out there who has a record of competing and shooting even, sometimes under par. He's won some little 9-hole tournaments down in Florida. It's going to be incredible. And he's already talking shit to Justin Thomas. I mean, what a better guy to talk shit to. I mean, Charlie Woods, I guarantee you, could already beat up Justin Thomas. I mean, if he has the mindset that of his dad, of training with Navy SEALs, I mean, I think Charlie Woods has a little screw loose at 11 years old and can already, maybe take a 7-iron to old JT's knee if he needs to.
Hey, well, I guarantee you that they got the same waist size. So,
yes.
It's a fair fight. We'll say that. It's a fair fight.
It might be. I mean, and I mean, to really give the tournament or whatever this charity event is, which is cool, raising money, which I absolutely love, and I'm never not going to say that. But, I mean, you got a couple other heavy hitters. I mean, maybe some other hefty hitters. You got John Daly and his boy. You got JT and his dad. You even have Bubba Watson and his, I think his stepdad or someone. But other than that, I've done very little research on this thing. I know it's a 30-hole scramble. It's being played on Saturday and Sunday. But again, if it wasn't for Tiger and Charlie, I don't know if I would have it on my schedule and or on my calendar or even know about it. Because in order to get any information, it's like, it's like last week's U.S. Open. It's an Easter egg hunt sometimes.
Well, yeah, there's not much out there for you to know. The one thing that kind of caught my eye, though, is the qualifications to get into this tournament, right? And you've got to be a major winner or a players champion. Like, I hate this fifth major stuff. Like, the players is not a major. And the fact that you're going to have however many teams in there, because all these guys are major winners and playing with their boy, or their family member. But then you're going to throw somebody like Matt Kuchar in there, right? We're going to throw him a bone because he's one of players. No, that drives me nuts, right? Your boy Bernhard's in the field. right? But he's
Yeah.
won majors, okay? Like you got Nick Price, you got old school guys, you got JD and his boy, who I think are going to win it. Little JD is a fucking man among boys, but it's like I love it. Make it all major winners. Make it. You have to win a major to be in the field. Don't throw these guys bones. Ricky Fowler, he's not in it, but I mean, throw him a bone because he's one of the players, right? It's like, come on, dude. The Players is not a major championship. If it was, then fucking Ricky Fowler would be a major champion. He's not, right? That guy can't even play in the Masters this year.
Well, and it's yes, he can't play in the Masters this year unless he wins a tournament. But I mean, you're absolutely right. It's almost disgusting that the PGA Tour is trying to just muscle their way into major championship talk. And don't get me wrong, if they want to have this conversation and they want to create a fifth major, do I think it's great for the game of golf? Not really. I mean, this championship is the Players have been played for the last like 40 years. It's never been a major. The only reason people show up to this golf tournament and to this particular golf course is because there's a large check at the end of the line. Like, no one loves hitting to an island green on hole 17. Like, yes, it might be memorable, it might be cool, and it might bring a lot of attention, and excitement coming down the stretch, but none of these guys want to hit fucking 5-irons into a 30-mile-an-hour wind 140 yards. Like that's not fun to them. That's not fun to try and capture a PGA Tour victory. But I mean, just going down to the laundry list of guys, I mean, you got David Duval, Jim Furyk, Tom Kite. I mean, this is a history in the making. I mean, you got Mark Calvecchia. Good thing the names are here because I'd have mispronounced a few of these. But I mean, even the likes of Lee Trevino. I mean, Lee Trevino, I wish he would have been born in about our era because I think he, with social media, might have been the funniest guy in the world.
Well, hey, there's going to be some good groups out there. There's going to be some good banter and some go back and talking, but it's just another one of those. It's a filler. It's a filler to get to 2021. It gives us something to talk about for a second, even though we don't care about it. We don't want to. But like you said earlier, if Charlie Woods and Tiger weren't playing in this, it would be a nobody, no nothing. It'd be no different than the fucking Amador Buffs golf tournament out at Castle Oaks once a year. Like, it'd be no different.
I hate to say it, but I think the Aloha Press Classic has a little more clout. I mean, 36-hole event, stroke play, cash on the line. I mean, some real trophy. I mean, but instead you got this cool format. Don't get me wrong, it's a filler competing against NFL football. I don't know what kind of draw it's going to get. I'm sure it's going to get a draw just because of Charlie Woods. And we're going to highlight it. We're going to talk about it more. Because that's what we do. This is December golf. I get it. If you haven't subscribed to the email newsletter, do so. We always give you little insights and some tips and tricks and some other things that happen in the golfing world. But the thing that brought up a couple days ago was Michael Jordan's golf course. And Jeff, I needed your take. Michael Jordan has an incredible, 100 less members down in Florida. But the thing that they're missing is they're missing the cart girls. They're delivering drinks via drone, which, don't get me wrong, is cool. But the golf course needs a cart girl. Am I absolutely just out of left field?
So I saw this all over Instagram, all over TikTok, and it's fucking awesome. That's pretty cool that this, killer drone can bring you sandwiches, hot dogs, beers, cocktails, and drop them pretty much any hole you're on. That's pretty cool. I like it. But there's something about golf and the cart girls and the banter that goes back and forth and buying drinks for your buddies and holding up play a little bit, to have her make you fucking 4 Bloody Marys when you don't need them. It's just something about that you're going to be missing out when it's just a drone coming up.
And I think the drone's cool. And this is probably going to get me slapped but I mean, the drone doesn't have boobs, like you step up to the tee box and, you see the cart girl coming down the opposite drive, and you're like, fuck, do I wait or do I just smash one down there and hopefully I don't hit her. I mean, there's a lot of stories that come out of cart girls and, there might be some crimes that are committed. There might be some, I've seen some banter But when everything's said and done, I don't give a shit what kind of drone you have. To be quite honest with you, get rid of them. Like Michael, pull in some talent from Vegas or somewhere, and give your membership some, it's experience.
Hey, you're not taking shots with a drone, okay? You're taking shots with a cart girl. You're not trying to hit fucking bombs in front of a drone. You're trying to hit bombs in front of the cart girl, right? So especially if I'm bringing buddies out to the play that don't play that often, you think they really care that a drone's bringing them a beer? No. They want to see the cart girl. They're shooting 130. They don't fucking care, especially in the summertime, right? Because the outfits are a little bit better than winter golf. So I'm against it. It's cool. Big money, 100 members, fucking MJ. It's your course. You do what you want. But the Aloha Press is not about that.
I just know this. Okay, the drone was not purchased by Michael. Okay, I can guarantee that. You know who purchased the drone delivering drinks? His wife. Okay, let's be quite honest with you. I'm sure there's some incidences that have gone down, maybe at Shadow Creek out in Vegas, but you know who bought that goddamn drone. Like they're when they said, "Oh, we got an opening for cart girls," someone's like, "No, you don't. You can find an alternative," and he did via DJI Maverick, delivering cocktails. That's what happened. Let's get real with the folks.
Hey, we remember the Michael that would rent out the whole top floor at the Caesar's Palace back in the day up in Tahoe for the American Century Classic. Yeah, so he definitely wasn't having a drone or some dude deliver him freaking cocktails.
And that's that's a great segment to really lead into the favorite segment, hot or not, Jeff. I mean, let's kick it off. A little hot or not. You went back to back, brought up a few topics, and I'm interested to hear what you got. So with that being said, let's get into hot or not.
Hot or not? Nah, bro.
Hey, so this week's hot or not, right? This one's been on my radar for a little bit. I saved it for the end of December. We're getting ready to go 2021 and probably have a lot more hot or not topics and guests. But this girl on the LPGA tours is kind of always caught my attention. Her husband sometimes plays on the PGA Tour, sometimes the Korn Ferry. So they're a golfing family, right? But Serena Pillar, you don't know her, look her up. Check out her Instagram. Check out her LPGA photos. She is the hot or not for this week. So I'm going to throw it to you and get your first take on this.
Well, when you first mentioned her, I had no clue who she was. So in quite honestly, if I'm not aware of what your name is, which don't get me wrong, I fuck up people's names all the time. I just wasn't aware. I never heard of her. I thought you might have mentioned, someone that we might have gone to school with. But when you Google her name, like it's not good, but then it is good, and you're like confused. So you have to. Then I had to like sacrifice I don't want to say hours, but a few minutes of my time. You dive into the Wikipedia page, and you're like, God, she has drank way too many beers. And then you realize like I'm a man, and she's pregnant playing golf. So I felt like a complete asshole judging based on hot or not. And I'm like, oh, she's having a child. But then you dive into some of the more recent pictures, and Jeff, I will say, she could easily be the cart girl at the old Aloha Press, links. I'm going complete full PXG's hottest member, as a representative.
100% agree with you. I thought she was hot since back in the day. And she used to do, not many people know, maybe some of the longtime LPGA Tour fans or the Korn Ferry Tour guys, but her and her husband did a Barbasol commercial back in the day, right? The shaving cream. And they got her shaving her legs and shit. Dude, I'm telling you. Hot. Look that up. You might want to put that on the YouTube show.
I'm going to have
a little clip. But she is definitely hot. She's one of the hotter LPGA Tour members. Her and Natalie Golbis, we need to bring back the likes of like Holly Saunders. Remember those back in the day?
It's just shocking to me that, we take it that direction. But to be quite honest with you, like I was reading this thread about the LPGA, and they said like something to effect of like they should dress a little more risque when it comes to their golf attire. And this lady golfer just went high into the left when it came to, ladies and like treating them fairly and everything. And then I thought about it and I'm like, if half the world's population is men and every popular street corner I drive to has either a strip club, Hooters, or some, hair cutting place that's serving up ladies in bikinis. I realize that men are disgusting, and the quickest way to get more viewers on the LPGA Tour is absolutely, playing a bikini. I mean,
well, hey, I don't know about playing in bikini. Yes, they do that on Instagram. But if you look at women's tennis, right, that's probably the closest money-wise, fan-wise to men's sports out of any of them, right? And over the years, those ladies have progressed. They're wearing, essentially sports bras and mini skirts, but it works.
I'm just saying, like, if you can create an athletic apparel, I mean, don't get me wrong. The movement with yoga pants has been incredible, and it's comfortable. It's a great look. Popular company Spanx, I'm sure is, shout out to them. Big fan of them, but it just is shocking that, why not take it there? I mean, I don't want to say, to be sexist or anything, but Jarena Pillar is absolutely hot, and she needs to be on the forefront. I mean, cut or not cut. I mean, if you needed any motivation to not have a no cut, like, you might need to get her on that no cut event.
Well, and how do you not know about her, right? There's a reason. She's been on tour for a long time, right? She's been on the Ladies President's Cups or whatever they call it, the Solheim Cup. She's been on those teams, but you don't know about her. Guys, we got to do something to promote the game. Maybe take it in that direction.
Well, and you might as well. I mean, listen to the Aloha Press podcast. Every week we're bringing up a hot or not, and we're giving you the facts, okay? Jeff did some great research. It seems like he's been, Instagram following this lady for a while now, watching Barbasol commercials, which I'm going to Google later. But it's unique, and we're giving you a different perspective. It might not be, the stereotypical, left-wing, rhetoric, but, at the same time, we understand they could beat our ass in either, probably in a fight, a pool of Jello or, on the golf course. You never know. Let's mix it up. Let's bring some more viewers. So hopefully you guys enjoyed Hot or Not.
Hot or not?
Nah, bro.
All right, are you ready for some listener questions?
Let's get into some listener questions after I watched the Barbasol commercial. Jeff, that was awesome. Holy shit. Gave me some homework. Let's get into some listener questions.
One of my favorite parts when it comes to the podcast, the YouTube show, is listener questions. I got 2 this week. You got 2 this week. First one I'm going to start off with comes from Brian out in Alameda, California, down there in the Bay Area on lockdown. They've been on lockdown since the beginning. But he wants to know, what's the most dangerous animal you've ever seen on the golf course while you're playing?
Most dangerous animal. This has actually been brought up a few times in like private conversations, but the most dangerous animal I've seen 2 different dangerous animals. One, just in your local, Amador County type rattlesnakes. I don't know what kind of rattlesnakes. They're fucking scary as shit on the golf course. But the second one was in a beautiful golf course down in Cancun, Mexico. We were playing a golf course that had just a large amount of alligator signs or crocodile signs, and sure enough, we saw one, and that was probably the scariest thing I've ever been around. I mean, talk about giant fucking lizards. So I was not a big fan of that. I'll go play the course again. I will not be going to get any golf ball anywhere near any fucking water. But alligator would be my number one.
See, so I'm just like you, right? Playing on the West Coast, rattlesnakes, and I got a pretty good rattlesnake story for you. Number 8 out of Castle Oaks. One day, I chip in and play with my old man, just the 2 of us, and I go to take the ball out of the cup, pin's still in, right, pre-COVID, and there's a fucking baby rattler in the cup.
Holy shit.
I almost stick my fucking hand in there. So that's my rattlesnake story. But That's not the scariest animal I've ever seen. And a lot of Amador County folks can relate to where I'm going with this. But back in the day, out at Mace Meadows, they had some fucking killer geese. And those fuckers would chase you down. They'd chase your cart. They'd chase your ball. They'd shit everywhere. And, I might have had a few friends that hit some laser beams into them, like open season geese hunting. But the geese at Mace Meadows are the most dangerous animal I ever seen on the golf course. They might not be there anymore, but they were back in the day.
That's incredible. Holy shit. The geese, I will test to the geese. I've never dealt with a rattlesnake in a cup. That's terrifying, Jeff. I would shit myself. I would not be playing there anymore. I'd be terrified. But, coming from a young gal out in Plymouth, California, wants to know what's the one routine or ritual you have for your golf game?
Well, I'm not a guy that's going to go to the range. I may putt a little bit before I play, but pretty much if it's morning, noon, or night, I got to go to the bar before I tee off. I need a cocktail, and depending on what time of day it is, it depends on what type of cocktail I'm going to get. And generally, I'm not just buying for myself. I'm going to make sure my group gets one too.
That's a great ritual. I mean, it's well planned out. I'm going to go a little bit more conservative and say I like to go to the range. I want to go to the range a little bit. I want to hit a few golf shots. I want to know how bad the chunks are. I want to know if I have a little yips. I maybe head to the putting range and then really get a feel of what's going on. What I'm going to have to fix come on the tee box number one. So other than routines or rituals, I'm pretty much there's not too much rituals there.
Hey, I'm a strong believer that some of your best rounds start with a bogey and never start with the driving range. So, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's just kind of my belief. All right, you ready for another one? This one comes from Greg out in Rancho Murrieta, California. They got a nice country club out there, couple nice golf courses. They're looking for public members now because they're hurting a little bit. But he wants to know, at Castle Oaks Golf Course, if you had to make par on one hole and you got $100, but if you didn't make par, you had to spend a night in jail, what hole would you pick and why?
Well, first of all, let's make it very clear. Okay, I've never been to jail. I used to work in a jail. I've spent a few nights in the jail. That's not a very scary bet for me. I mean, you just roll in there and you just start punching fucking people. I mean, $100, I mean, that's it? Or jail? Like, if I was going to go to Castle Oaks and need to make a par, I'm going with hole number 11. It's a short par 3, can pretty much get up and down anywhere. If you leave it below the hole, you're going to have an uphill putt, pretty slow. I've made a ton of birdies. I've made a ton of pars there. I made a lot of bogeys too. But and I would pick that hole 1 because it's a wedge in my hand. And to be quite honest with you, I'm not very afraid of going to jail.
Well, I'm sure that's what he meant when he picked that question for us.
How about you, buddy? If you needed to make a par at Castle Oaks, and we'll give you a little flyover at Castle Oaks for you listeners to get an idea of what we're talking about. But
so I'm going with the home hole, right? I used to live out there. Hole number 12. From left to right, fairway and rough, you probably got 100 yards to fuck up with your drive. So you're safe off the tee. It's only about 315 yards. It's a short hole. I don't think I can make a bogey there. Not saying I haven't, but it's usually a birdie, easy par hole. That's a safe bet. I don't want to spend a night in jail. Unlike Justin here, I'd like to sleep in my own bed and maybe have a few cocktails before I go to bed. But I'm going number 12, so I hope you can show them those back-to-back holes. They're not tough holes. That's kind of the birdie stretch at Castle Oaks on the back 9. It
really is. Start with 11, you get into 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And, the scary thing about it, Jeff, when you mentioned you can't have a cocktail, I strongly disagree, okay? It's the beautiful thing about having a career in law enforcement was you got to be experienced to all kinds of, toilet winemakers. And, it's called Pruno for you Aloha Press folks out that haven't been in jail or in custody. It smells like absolute dog shit, and I assume drinking it is probably the worst thing in the world. But I've seen a few people fucked up, to be quite honest with you.
I believe you can probably get anything you want in jail.
Some
I'm just
butt
saying,
tobacco. You never know. Like there's all kinds of stuff that people shove up their ass to bring into jail. So I mean, from a cell phone to cocaine, a little bit of they probably sneak a whole bottle of Jack Daniels up their ass. You never really know.
Hey, I'd rather just driver, wedge, 2-putt. Give me $100. I'm out.
As glamorous as I'm making it, I don't want to go to fucking jail, and that's why I chose hole 11. It's so easy. Hole 12, to be quite honest with you, that's the scariest fucking hole in the world because it is about 150 yards wide and just somehow finds fucking a trap or fucking water. It just never fails. But I like that question. That really mixes it up. But the thing about it is, our last and one of our final questions from one of our listeners out in Fiddletown, California. I heard possum pie is pretty good out there, but are there any superstitious things about your golf game that maybe is things that you have to think about when you're either putting or getting ready to tee off?
So this is going to be a weird one. It's not really when I'm putting or when I'm teeing off, but it's when I'm playing well, right? Say I got a good stretch going. I've made a couple birdies in a row, or I made a few pars and I just birdied a hole. And it's sometimes when you drink on the golf course, you got to take a piss every once in a while. And I might not be the only one, but if I'm playing well and I got a good stretch going, I'm holding that shit. It might hurt a little bit too, right? But I'm rolling the dice. I'm going. And I'm not using the restroom until I make a bogey. So, hey, you might see me go freaking 9, 10, 11, 12 holes in a row hurting. I might not even be able to walk. I'm going to have to take a knee to tee up. But I'm not going to go until something bad happens on the golf course.
Now, that's incredible news. If you see Jeff playing well, I mean, all you got to do is just start shaking water balls around him or something or tap him into the bladder. I mean, that's pretty incredible. I mean, for me, it's very simple. If I'm playing well, if I'm playing really good golf, I am the most helpful person in the world to my group. Okay. I am looking for your golf ball. I am trying to give myself as much karma as possible. If you need help reading a putt or fucking grabbing the flags, you want me to mark my ball about 100 yards out? No problem. Like, I am the most helpful fucking person when it comes to when I'm playing good golf, especially when I'm about to, maybe take some of their money. I just feel like I want to be as friendly as possible to keep that mojo going.
And that's usually when I tell you to get away from me.
Yes. It's plus it helps, it's like, well, why? You're being what, too nice? Like, it's a good excuse to be friendly. But the thing that excited me was I wanted the Aloha Press's fan base opinion of us. And I threw this out on Instagram, and I showed 4 pictures of 4, I want to say couples, but 4 dudes, okay? 8 dudes total, but, 2, pairs, maybe co-hosts. I can't think of a great word to describe, not a couple of dudes. But the thing I wanted to know was your opinion, Jeff. When it comes down to the Aloha Press and that which best describes us, I need to know, is Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson in Wedding Crashers, or is Will Ferrell and the other guy from Step Brothers, I can't remember his fucking name, Harry and Lloyd Christmas from Dumb and Dumber, or Martin Lawrence and Will Smith from Bad Boys 2? Jeff, if you had to put your thumb on the 2 individuals that best represent, you and I and the Aloha Press, which one you going for?
First off, Dumb and Dumber is my favorite movie of all time. Harry and Lloyd Christmas, I love them. Back in the day when we coached in high school football, I used to pick out the 2 kids that represented those 2, and those were their names for the year. I love Dumb and Dumber. Do I think it's me and you? No. Maybe some of the blue and orange suits, we might pull that off every once in a while. But I got to go with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. I mean, we got the law enforcement background. When it comes time to get down to it, we get down to it. Can we be comedic and funny too? Absolutely. So that's my pick. I hope that was kind of the consensus on the Instagram poll. I mean, if they think we're Lloyd and fucking Harry, we're in trouble.
Well, it's I'm going to agree with you. if you guessed right, you would have picked Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, because Bad Boys 2, the movie, absolutely changed my life. If anyone wanted to become a cop after that movie, it was me. I was inspired. As you turn to law enforcement and you look back and watch that movie, you realize that everything that they did in that movie was highly illegal, and they would have been fired and sent to federal prison. I think they killed about 12 people that probably didn't deserve it. But I thought it was the best thing in the world. And I think if I was going to live my life, that's how I'm going to live it. And especially when it comes to the Aloha Press. I don't know which one you and I are. I don't know if I'm Martin Lawrence and you're Will Smith in this movie, but God, I hope I'm not Martin Lawrence. He bitches a lot.
Hey, but out of all the duos that you gave for them to pick from, that by far is us. It emulates us the most. It's no way are we fucking Wedding Crashers or fucking Step Brothers or Dumb and Dumber. It just ain't happening.
It's just not happening. I think that was the best fitting. I could see you and I in Cuba in a yellow Hummer, chasing down someone. I don't know if they're chasing us down, but us being in trouble is probably the storyline there. But really appreciate it, buddy. We are almost to the hour. Jeff, in closing, it's been a great week. We're going to do it again next Monday. Hopefully you guys enjoy the show. In the next couple of weeks, I would appreciate you guys signing up to the golf email newsletter so you guys get the updates when it comes out. When we have a few more giveaways and some new apparel is coming to the Aloha Press shop in the near future. You can check all that out at the alohapress.com. Jeff, in closing, buddy, any big plans for the weekend?
Headed back to work tomorrow, brother. I don't know. Hopefully get out on the golf course this week. I just want to give a shout out to Louis Hurtado for the fucking giveaway winner. Use that $75. Hey, if you want to play, hit me up. I'll come out and see you out of Castle Oaks. But the newsletter, sign up for it. With what's coming in 2021, you're going to want to get the inside information. You're going to want to know what's going on. Plus, it keeps you up to date with your golf news. I read it. You read it. Sign up. We'll look forward to seeing you guys next week.
All right. Appreciate it, buddy. And we will catch you guys later.
All right, brother.